So next we're going to look into how to actually create a working paper template and how to use it. Okay, so same principles apply as the previous video. If you want to have it on your server, you save it on your server. If you want to have it on your personal desktop, you save it there. Okay, so here I've got a sample. I can highlight the sample, and whatever information I highlight, I can then go into my audit toolbar, into working papers, and I can select one of these working papers. Okay, so here's the example that we have, and that then pulls it out into this document. Now, how do we set this up? Okay, so I'm going to delete this document over here, and we're going to start a new template. So let's just go to one of my basic templates over here. We'll just use the audit test one, and I'm going to firstly rename the sheet. This is the most important part, because this is what is going to drive the part that comes afterwards, that makes these templates more difficult. Okay, then there are two ways you can go about this. Firstly, you can either pull this sheet out and save it as only that sheet in a document and then put that into your working papers, or you can do it from your Excel using the manage templates options over here. I'm going to go through the manage templates options. Now, before we do that, we need to tell the audit toolbar where it should start placing information. Now, as you can see here, I've got some space over here ready for information to be populated, but I'm going to highlight this column over here in yellow because I want my information to start being populated between these two rows. Okay, and I want to show you guys exactly how we control that. So first thing we need to do is we need to identify where we want our information to start. So like I said, we wanted to go into these two rows, but we don't want it to start from this row, from this column, sorry. We wanted to start from this column, and we wanted to create new rows in between this one and this one. And how we do this is by using a function in Excel called the name manager. So essentially what the name manager is exactly the same as how you work with formulas, where a specific cell has the name B15 in this case, and you can see that cell's name over here. We can change the name of a cell or even a range of cells to represent anything we want it to represent. So let's for now, we're going to rename this B15, right? Simply by coming up here next to our formula bar and clicking in there and backspace, and then we're going to rename it. And the name of it is very important. So what the name has to be is it needs to be the exact same as the name of this sheet. Okay, so we're going to call it audit, but wherever there's a space, we replace that with an underscore. So audit underscore tests, there we go. Then the last thing we need to do is end it off with an underscore start. And that is how we tell the audit toolbar how it should know where to start. Okay. And just to show you how versatile this name management is, if I've got a name over here, and let's put in to me as the value in this cell, I can go to any sheet and I can just go equals audit test start. You can see it there. Press tab, and when I press enter, that value will come through. So you can, in that sense, use the name manager to set up your client name, year end, all these things at the beginning of your document, and then just have them pull through with the name manager for the rest of the sheets. Okay, so another thing is you can use this as part of formulas. So I've got 10 there. If I come back here, you can see it's updated to 10, but now I can go plus 25, and that will give me 35. So this is just a way, so you can use this for items like your materiality as well, which stays consistent. And then in that way, people don't have to keep reusing the materiality, re-entering the materiality value. It will always be consistent throughout the entire document. Okay, so that's how the name manager works. Now, let's say you put in your name and you realized, I made a mistake, right? Going into here and renaming it is not going to change the name, okay? The only way we can change it is by coming into formulas over here, right? And in formulas, you'll see there's a name manager. And if we go into the name manager, what you'll see, if I didn't have all of my items over here, which I'll just quickly delete for now, right? What you'll see is you'll see the audit test start, and it will tell you that it refers to audit test, right, which is the name of the sheet, and cell B15, which is the name of the cell. And if you want to change it, you can just simply click on edit. You can change the name up here. You can change where it refers to here. And once you're happy, you can then click OK, and that will save that. Okay, so now that I've told the audit toolbar, right, where I want my information to start, and I have my document prepared and ready and everything, I'm happy with it, now I can create a template out of this. So like I said before, if you want to, you can take this document as is, this sheet, copy it out and save it as a separate document. But I'm going to go the easier way, which is in the audit toolbar. I'm going to simply click on manage templates. I'll click on add new, add template, right? And then I'm going to keep the name the same, because otherwise that might change my name of my sheet. So we keep the name the same. That's why the name is the most important part, because it drives this name that we have here, and it will drive the name of the document in total. Okay, then we've got categories. Under which category are we going to put this? Because this is specifically a working paper type, we're going to put it under working papers. Okay, and I don't have any folders in my working paper group, so therefore no groups. So with that done, I can simply click on continue, right? And you'll see that the Excel is going to start working and ultimately tell you that the template has been created successfully. Because once the template is created, I can now go ahead, delete this sheet, right? I don't want that sheet anymore. I can now go and tell it, actually, this is everything that I want to put underneath that document, into my template. And now, when I click on my working papers, you'll see audit test is there. I can click on audit test, and it will take these details and populate them into the document. You'll see that it has placed it correctly, as it has created new rows in between this row and that row, and the yellow is still there to show us that the information has not been overwritten or anything like that. All right, perfect.